Hello, my beautiful Aries. How are you doing, babes? My name is SimplyVelca, and today, honey, we're going to be getting into your monthly tarot horoscope reading for September 2021, Aries. So if you find any cards that resonate with you in this monthly reading today, be sure to let me know in the comments below, Aries, which cards resonate with you and how they do, because that is how I keep up with you guys, is through the comments, of course, Aries. Also, if you do enjoy this tarot reading today, babe, or you just enjoy my vibe, I'd really appreciate it, Aries, if you were to give this video a like and subscribe, because it does help me out a lot, and I always appreciate it when you guys do that extra step to support me. But remember, put this in perspective, Aries. I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you, honey. You know your situation better than ever possibly could. Take the cards that resonate, leave what doesn't. I believe my tarot readings, my monthly tarot readings especially, are just here to give you some food for thought, something to be considering as you go throughout your day today, but never making the choices in your life, darling, because it's your life to live, not mine, and not these tarot cards. So let's just jump into your monthly tarot reading now, Aries. Let's just get right into this, darling. I don't really have like a set direction that I want to take with y'all's reading, Aries, actually. I just feel as if we need to just allow the messages to come forward, which is already a sign to me that your spirit guides have something to relay whenever I'm not having a sense of direction when I'm stepping into a reading. Because even during your pre-shuffle, I wasn't really getting a sense of where we were going to be going. So we start out with the Nine of Swords for you. This was in the back of the deck, Aries. So it's showing to me that you guys are in this place of feeling anxious right now. Now, for many of you, it's probably just feeling anxiety about whatever your objective is, because I do feel like this is focusing in on one specific thing. I suppose that some of you Aries, you could just be naturally anxious, but with the Nine of Swords, this is a card of just like sleepless nights, right? I do feel as if right now, Aries, there's just been some sense of like internal struggle is something that I'm hearing. But something I also want to point out is with the Nine of Swords, there's this common theme here with most artwork of the Nine of Swords, rather, of where there's usually, because it represents sleepless nights, you see like a pillow here. It's kind of like a representation of like a nightmare. And so as all of us know, hopefully that you always will end up waking up from a nightmare, Aries. And so I just want to preface that right off the bat, right? So even though that you guys are coming into September probably feeling a little bit anxious about a specific situation, just know that it's always temporary, darling, right? I don't even need to be pulling any more cards to let you know that it's temporary. If this is more something to be worth stressing out about, we would have gotten like a Three of Swords or like a Tower card. Well, I guess I should like knock on some wood, honey, right? And just be like, hopefully I don't pull those cards now for you. So let's expound on this Nine of Swords, shall we, darlings? We have the King of Pentacles here. So some of you guys may be a little bit worried about your overall just stability in your life right now. Ooh, we just pulled these two. I had two other cards come out for you, Aries. So let me show you those before I continue on. We have the Empress card that stepped forward that fell out, as well as the Magician card. So this is very much so, I would say, Aries, a lot of you guys are focusing in on stressing out about how you're going to bring further stability into your life, how you're going to further create in your life. I do see with the Empress card coming in here, this is showcasing to me, Aries, that you guys are definitely going through some struggles right now. I would suspect some financial struggles for some of you Aries, because I know for a while during my weekly reading, some of you guys have been in this process of overcoming a money block, right? So I do feel as if that you guys are going through this process of trying to figure out your next money move, I would say, Aries, or the next move that you need to make that would be most productive for your life, that would add further stability. Girl, if I can hold these cards, darling, that would add further stability into your life, Aries. So this is definitely very interesting. I do just want to apologize to you, Aries. I mean, even though obviously I'm not at fault, honey, but it does suck to see that you guys are definitely going through. You guys are just definitely going through it, I do feel. Because it does show to me you guys have some really strong intentions, like you really want to create something in your life, right, with this Magician card, but it just feels like you're just constantly hitting like a brick wall, or that's something that you feel like you're doing, where it's like no matter what it is that you put out into the world, or no matter what efforts you take, Aries, you might be feeling as if like it's all for nothing, because it's just like you're never, maybe you take one step forward and then ends up taking like 10 steps back, right? Or even if some of you, I just heard like Aries, you just wish that you could have a step forward, right? Some of you guys, you feel like you've been stuck, right? So let's pull one last one here. Ace of Swords coming in here. Now this card did try to come out in the inverted, and I wanted to point out during your pre-shuffle, you have the Ace of Pentacles come flying out for you, Aries, a couple times. So it's interesting that we have these aces kind of following you. So this is showcasing to me that really, Aries, I feel as if you're a little bit too much in your head. I feel as if that you guys, especially due to this Nine of Swords energy here, you may feel as if that there's something that you're doing wrong. It does feel like there's a lot of internalization going on here, Aries. And so I do just get the sense that you guys are really in your head, being a little bit critical of yourself at this time. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are, I know this is probably going to come out as a little bit out of pocket, but I do feel as if that you guys are struggling a little bit with your self-esteem. It's something that I'm just getting the idea of, just because of this Magician card here and how this is set up in this dynamic. The Magician card and the King of Pentacles coming on either side. This is really just showcasing to me where it's just like you're used to having, well, I don't want to say you're used to having, but it just showcases to me where it's like you're putting a lot of responsibility on yourself. Like a lot of your focus seems to be on like your own capabilities, if that makes sense, Aries. So interesting spread right off the bat of how you're going to be getting into September. Now let's see about how this progresses for you, Aries, right? Because I already know, like, girl, even though you're going to be coming into September with some anxiety, I already have this feeling that it's not going to be for long, right? So let's continue on with this. Right, let's continue on with the storyline. Let's see how this month progresses for you for September 2021, Aries. Does that sound good? So you had the Justice card that came out right off the bat here, Aries. This is the Libra card. Has no relevance, darling, other than the fact that I'm a Libra. And I also want to point out, just because now that I'm being self-centered here, honey, the Empress card is also the Libra card. So you had both Libra cards coming forward into your reading right off the bat. So you may be having strong Libra in your chart. If you do, check out the Libra reading as well. So we have the Justice card coming in here. So there's definitely this sense of things coming back into balance naturally, as that cliche goes. But before we go into too much detail with this Justice card, I feel like it's important for us to pull a couple more cards for this. So we have the Ten of Swords coming in here, as well as the Ten of Cups. Ooh, so Aries, you guys have completed a cycle, or you guys are completing a cycle. This probably has a little bit to deal with why it is you're feeling a little bit anxious, Aries, as well, is something that I'm suspecting is because of the closure of this cycle coming in for you. Now, I do see this as a good sign, honestly, Aries, to see these tens here, because this is showcasing to me of, especially when I see the Empress card coming in, I always see this as a sign of where it's like, whoever it is that I'm reading for, in this case, it's y'all beautiful Aries. When the Empress card steps forward, this is usually my own internal thing of being like, all right, like this individual Aries right now is having a lot of obstacles thrown their way to teach them things, right? And I say this because the Empress card is very much so in tune with the universe, and the Empress doesn't get overwhelmed by the lessons thrown at her, because each lesson that is thrown at her, each obstacle that is thrown at her, she further gives birth, or is further creating the life that she wants, right? That's why the Empress card usually represents fertility, but it doesn't mean like pregnancy, literal pregnancy. I personally don't feel comfortable talking about pregnancies and predicting pregnancies in personal or general readings, but fertility in the sense of giving, nurturing and trying to give birth to whatever your objective is, right? Whether it's love life or whether it's career and what have you. It's going to be different for all of you Aries. Whenever it comes to my readings, I like to just focus in on my Aries objective rather than trying to cover all the bases, right? So with this Ten of Swords here and Ten of Cups, I do feel as if you guys have experienced some heavy duty pain in your personal life, right? Now, something I want to point out as well, darling, this is not me just being optimistic, even though I'm an extreme optimist. I'm a realist, honey, but I'm also an optimist, because I feel as if what's the purpose in being a pessimist when you have to live this life anyways? So with this Ten of Swords here, just as I talked about before with the Nine of Swords being the card of like the nightmare coming, like you waking up from a nightmare, right? The anxiety is never permanent. This confirms this, right? Whatever you're feeling anxious about, this Justice card comes in the sense of where it's going to be rectifying itself in whatever way that looks like in your life, right? It's going to things are going to like figure themselves out, I suppose, if that makes sense, right? Because in this Ten of Swords, well, most people will look at the Ten of Swords and cringe. In this deck, I actually don't mind, and I actually kind of like the Ten of Swords in the sense that, well, yes, this showcases areas that you guys definitely have gone through a lot of pain, especially when it's connected to the Ten of Cups, which is your family life, which is, you know, the accomplishments and the, you know, just all that, you know. So whether this is in terms of the workplace or some type of accomplishment or family life, there's definitely some pain here that was caused to you for this Ten of Swords, right? That's why there's usually 10 swords that are in the person's back, because it happened. But the Ten of Swords in this deck is where it's kind of like the sense of, I don't know if everyone's going to get this reference, but I'm from Florida, honey, where I'm born in Florida. And during hurricane season, during right after like a tropical storm, like you'll usually, it's like the feeling is, or like the energy is like incomparable to anything else, because it's just like you have all this chaos, and then all of a sudden it's just like this nice serene, you start feeling like the sun touching your skin, and it's just as if like all this chaos, this hurricane didn't just like sweep through, if that makes sense. And so while I'm not downplaying your pain at all, obviously I'm comparing your experience to like a hurricane season, honey, Aries. So I hope I'm not trying, this doesn't come off as me downplaying your experience and what it is that you're feeling. But I do see, it does confirm to me what I was saying before with this, where it's like I do see things coming into a natural order, like things coming back into balance. That's why the Justice card comes in here for you, Aries. So let's pull one last one here. We have the Five of Wands. And so, yeah, this is the, this is my drama card, honey, right? So whether this isn't usually, this is in terms of like obstacles, dealing with obstacles. So like I was just saying, y'all are having a lot of obstacles, a lot of inconveniences thrown in at you currently at this time, or in terms of conflict with other people, right? Because there's always, with the Five of Wands, is people competing after the same thing. And so I feel like this message, this spread here, is just letting you know, Aries, that while yes, you guys are dealing with all this, but there is like a purpose to this pain that you're experiencing. It is trying to create something in your life. This is building up to be something to redirect you, I would say. Redirect you, or really just, I guess, build character for you, Aries, to further feed into whatever it is that you're trying to give birth to, whatever your main objective is. Does that make sense, Aries? I am kind of like in my head sometimes when I use my analogies, because I feel like that only makes sense to me. So, enough of that energy though, right? Take this as you will. I know, especially, girl, I'm usually naturally anxious, not anymore, but I know whenever I'm feeling anxious, when someone's just like, oh girl, don't worry, it's going to figure itself out, that don't help, honey, right? But I can confidently say, Aries, for what it means, that I feel like whatever it is you're feeling anxious about, it's going to figure itself out pretty quickly, especially with how the cards came out. Like, it was just like boom boom. Does that make sense? So I don't feel as if you're going to be feeling anxious for too long in September. So let's tap into some of the good things that are in the works for you right now, Aries. What good things are in the works for you for the month of September? What can we anticipate for you for the month of September, Aries? Let's see here. Okay, girl. These cards keep on trying to come out. So we have the Six of Swords coming in for you, Aries. So definitely putting distance, definitely moving on. So I would definitely say right off the bat, before I even look at these other cards, Aries, that you can kind of anticipate. I would say this month is, you know, just as I was saying, like with the Empress card, you having a lot of things thrown at you. It's going to continue on that. It's going to be in that same fashion for September, but it's not going to be all obstacles, is what I would want to say, is because I feel like it's just going to be like a domino effect, if that makes sense, where it's just like after this happens, then the next thing is going to be happening. Like, I don't feel like there's going to be necessarily a lull in your life, right? So I do feel as if once you experience that Ten of Swords and have that moment and you start walking away from whatever it is, right, putting distance between yourself and that thing that you're having anxiety about, Aries, this is when the good stuff starts working out for you. And so the moon card coming in as well. So this is not going to be something that you're anticipating. So Aries, I know this is definitely not going to be helping with your anxiety, honey, right? Because you're going to be like, well, Velka, I want to know, right? I want to know how I can make this closer. Don't worry, girl. We'll try to get into that more later. But this is definitely going to be something that you're not going to be anticipating on it. Like, I feel as if you're going to be dragging your feet and you're just going to be like looking down on the ground, being bummed out, and then some like good news comes forward, right? Because the Nine of Cups comes in here. And this is a very powerful card. I feel like it's kind of a slept on card, admittedly, as well, Aries, just because the Nine of Cups, it's not necessarily flashy, but the Nine of Cups represents a wish fulfillment, right? Your wish being granted, whatever it is your desire is, as I was saying, your objective, right? So you definitely get closer to your objective. For you, something does reveal itself this month that catches you off guard. That it's almost as if, Aries, I heard like the phrase of where it's just like you needed to catch a break, right? I feel like you're going to be catching a break, and it's going to be a very good break, right? So let's say that you've been going through some financial struggle, right? And you can't even foresee how you're going to pay your bills this month. I do feel as if something's unexpectedly is going to, like, I feel like you're taken care of, right? I feel as if your guys are taking care of you. And while it's going to be one of those months, I do have to say as well, something that I'm just getting is where you might be feeling like you're just getting by off the skin of your teeth as well. Like, I don't feel like I can't just sell you like a false story or false narrative, Aries. That's not what I'm about, honey. But I feel like you are just going to be taken care of. You may not be swimming in abundance this month, right? But you're going to be taken care of. And I feel like that's really like all you're really wanting right now, Aries. Is like you're wanting to catch a break, honey. You'd be like, oh, it's fine. Like, as long as some good news, honey, it's not just some more bad news, that's good enough for you. So let's actually get into some clarifiers for this row here, because I want to touch on this some more. Ten of Pentacles, I like this a lot. So this is fabulous for financial, right? Ten of Pentacles always references to abundance. Ten of Pentacles also references to your home life, your overall stability coming in here. Then we have the Two of Swords coming in here, Aries, as well as the Page of Wands. And so I do feel as if, Aries, there's something that you guys have been kind of resistant to, Aries. I do feel like with this Two of Swords here, this showcases to me of where it's almost like you had this in the back of your mind, or like had this as like a backup plan. I can't help but feel like some of you guys had like a plan B in your head, being like, oh, well, if this doesn't work out, or like, I don't know. I keep getting this feeling of where it's like you've considered some type of avenue, you've considered some type of path that you could take, but you just never took for whatever your reasoning is, darling, right? Could be too busy or what have you, right? Maybe you just didn't see it as being possible, right? Especially with the Moon card here and that Six of Swords. Maybe you just didn't see how it would be possible for you to actually have this opportunity or have this situation work out. But Page of Wands comes in of where it's like, I do feel like you guys are just going to be tapping into a completely new energy, Aries. It does feel like you guys are picking up in like a new project of some sort. But overall, Aries, I like this energy a lot. I do feel as if the thing I want to like tell you guys right now is the best way to, for Swords coming in, the best way to really welcome this energy in is to really, with the Four of Swords, this is a card of, it's kind of like keeping cool. Aries, it's kind of like keeping your cool. Page of Pentacles coming in here. Yeah, and normally, Aries, I want to just preface it and say that usually when it comes to my readings, I'm all about telling people to take action, go forward with things, right? Because opportunity isn't just going to be laying out on your doorstep, right? You have to go out and grab that opportunity. But for you guys, Aries, I feel like the best thing that you guys can do right now is just to rest. To take some time to rest, take this time right now to really just get your emotions intact, get your mind intact, build up your confidence again, because I do feel like some of you guys are being extremely cynical towards yourself for whatever your reasoning is, right? I'm not gonna like be preachy towards y'all, right? Because it's like when you're insecure, darling, like someone just telling you, like, oh, don't be insecure. It's like, girl, that don't do anything, right? So figure out why it is, work through, develop a better relationship with yourself, Aries. And as you develop a better relationship, I do feel like something's going to be presenting itself to you. So you don't have have to go out and get it, really. The best thing you can do at this time is working on yourself, because the Page of Pentacles refers to like a pentacle being given to you. So it could be a sign of like communication, someone extending their communication to you, Aries, if your objective is in terms of like a person involving, or it's just opportunity being presented, right? Pages represents new energies. And so when you have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Earth, this is fabulous for like financial endeavors. This is fabulous for like the building up like a new connection, whether it's platonic or work related or romantic. I do feel as if this is something's going to be coming to you, right? And again, with this moon card here, you're not going to really be anticipating it. So yeah, Aries, that is the monthly tarot reading that I have for you for September 2021. Overall, I really do feel strongly about y'all's reading, and that you guys have a lot of good things coming to you. Just spend this time to be nicer to yourself this month, Aries. Work on yourself, develop a better relationship with yourself, because I don't know what your beliefs are, but my personal beliefs are like what it is that you put out is what it is that you're going to get back, right? And so your job right now is to really work on yourself, so that way whenever this opportunity does present itself to you, Aries, you're fully ready to grab up at it, if that makes sense. Keep your head up, darling. I know some of you guys might feel like you're drowning right now, but things are definitely going to get so much better. The World card coming in here, yeah, you guys are definitely going to be stepping into a whole new journey really soon, right? So if you guys are feeling hopeless right now, it's not going to be for too long. I promise you. It's my job to know, right? But I love you so much, Aries. Hopefully you found this reading helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe, darling. Also, if you'd like to book a private personal reading with me, my website's linked down below, SimplyVelca.com. Next to my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that just being SimplyVelca, honey. Hopefully I can connect with you sometime during my weekly readings as well, Aries. But I love you so much, and connect with you soon. Bye.